Hello, greetings to everybody. Yes, Rich B here from Media Police. I hope that everybody is doing all right in life. I know that a lot of people have been following us and they have been enjoying our programs and what we have been bringing out. And I know a lot of people are still watching us. They haven't subscribed to our channel. If you want to always get quick information, what we bringing up to date, anything we post on our site, if you want to get informed fast, it's better you subscribe to our channel. If you subscribe to our channel, which is Adansi Bona Media, you will get more fast information. You will get, sometimes even we have a breaking news, we can bring it out. You will get it in time, and you'll be proud person to tell other fellow people, oh, I hear it from Adansi Bona Media, or Media Police inform me about this, So it's good to subscribe. And you can follow us at the Instagram too, at Media Police 02 on Instagram. You can follow us there too. Okay, today we have some issues which is very, very serious to address. And as we always tell people, Media Police always bring things which is important to the people, to the audience. When we see things which alert us, then we have to draw people's attention to it. So Media Police is always there to bring important issues for people. What we are bringing today is something which has drawn Media Police attention. And it's very, very serious that we have to draw everybody's true attention to it. What we are talking about is recently Media Police have got some analysis, like some calculations from one of the Ghana presenters. Okay, this guy is called Abraham Ben Moshe. Media Police have found out some calculations he has made on the media recently regarding about the churches in Ghana. It's very alarming. It's very, very alarming when we saw that report, and we couldn't believe what we were seeing, because we were not thinking about that thing can be possible. We never thought about that. But once this guy, Abraham Ben Moshe, drew our attention to this, Media Police have to jump in, and we have to come in, because it's a very dangerous thing we hear from the guy, What the guy said on air, if that is true, then it's very, very, very dangerous for the country. We have to step in before it becomes too late. What we mean is, this guy has been bringing some calculation on air regarding about the churches in Ghana, the number of churches. And some of them have branches which is over thousands of branches. A church has a branch of 3,000. We have a church have branches of over 8,000. We have up to 10,000 branches. It's too much. We don't know what is too much is too much. And all these churches, they are making a lot of money from people, the local citizens, local people. And these churches, the way the calculation goes, is just, it's too much. It's overwhelming. It's too much. You can't count them. Some, even the minimum ones are the 3 and 4. And there are some other churches, he never calculated them among this calculation, like those one-man churches and church in the schools and those things. So basically, the country is all church. All church. One way or the other is positive there, which is good, because it can calm down people for people to live good life. But the second thing too is, are these churches making real economical differences in people's life? Because we know people are paying tithes, people are paying collections. Some of these churches, they start from the morning, they can collect more than 4 different types of collections. And the problem Media Police want to draw people's attention is the calculation this gentleman brought out, the money involvement It was too much. A huge, substantial money, which you can't believe it if you have time to calculate this money this guy is talking about. These churches are making more than 10 times than the government itself. And we don't know. It's a threat to the government. Because how can ordinary people have these churches, branches, 3,000 branches, 8,000 branches, 1,000 branches, hundreds of branches, up to 10,000 branches in a country? How many population do we have in Ghana? And to have 10,000 of one church branches, over 8,000 of another church branches. How come? 3,000 branches, 5,000 branches. How come? And all of them are making money, collecting money from people individually. This is very serious. The reason why we are talking about seriousness in this is, look at these people going to these churches. When they fall sick, they all turn their eyes to the government. They go into hospital to get treatment. And when they go to the hospital, the government doesn't have enough of resources to take care of people, because sometimes it's hard. Even people are complaining that we have some people who you go to maternity ward, parents who have given birth fresh will be lying on the floor because we can't have enough beds for these people. It's not supposed to happen to the country. If you look at the churches, these mass churches in the country, and look at the money they are making every week from people. In fact, the government has to step in. Because if the government doesn't step in, something else will step in. Either the government step in to make things become even and more correct and proper way for the nation. If the government leave this thing just like that, eventually things will be changed and it will bring big trouble to the whole nation. Because right now, people are complaining about unemployment of the youth. People are complaining that there's not a lot of jobs in the country. All the people are relying upon the government. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter if it's an NPP government or NDC government. Government cannot do all. No government can do everything for the nation unless the people to support their government or help the government. Here, the government has to make very serious decisions. As we always said it, we will keep on saying it. We are not just saying something to teach Nana Addo sense or the Ghana government sense. All that we are doing is what the Nana Addo said initially when he came to power. He said that any Ghanaian who has any ideas which can bring out for him to look if it's good, he can take it and rule. Nana Addo asks all of us to bring our input. So whatever media police is bringing out, it's not that we are coming to teach Nana Addo a lesson or we are going to teach him how to rule the country. We are just responding to what he said. We are bringing our input. So this is our input to the nation. So people shouldn't get us wrong. Nana Addo has to stand on his feet, register all these churches. These churches who have 8,000 branches, 10,000 branches, 5,000 branches, he has to register all of them, including even one-man churches. They all have to come under accountability. He has to register them and put task forces in it so that people going to that churches, paying their collections, they can get some tax receipt, which end of the year they can show to the government that have been spending this amount of money to the church ago, so that the government can use look at the receipts and rebate them, like balance them something. That's what they do in advanced countries. And these church leaders, they too will have accountability to tell the government about this amount of money they are receiving, how they are using it for. It will be advisable if these church leaders too also help the government to build factories. It's not only the government who can build factories. Building 3,000 church branches, you can even build 50 of them as factories. It can contain a lot of the people coming to your church. People come to church, they are poor people, and they always collect, throwing out their money they have, and they're living poor and poor and poor, while the churches are becoming rich and rich and rich and rich. Sometimes we see what is going on. We see these churches, some of them want to do what they can do. We are not saying nobody doing good. They are doing good in their country, but it's not enough. If you look at the money aspect coming to the churches, it's not enough. The government has to come in, because it will be not fair that all this money will go to them, and after people get sick, they have to turn their eyes to the government and they will complain that government is not doing enough for us. Where is the money for the government to take care of you? You have been taking all the money to this side. So please, we have to balance this up. Other than that, this thing will explode eventually, and it can cause a lot of trouble to the nation, because the churches are becoming powerful and powerful and powerful than the government. And eventually, what is the government standing? I hope that media police, this report media police is bringing out, people will take it very seriously. Everybody in the nation, especially the Ghana nation I'm talking about, people will take it very, very serious, because we can't afford to have so many churches in the country. And yes, sir, you don't see any progressiveness in the people's lives. Always poor, always poverty. They keep on coming to the church, keep on donating, keep on throwing their collections. That's not right. Something has to come in, you know. Sometimes it's like a business which is not going the right way. And I think this is what media police can bring it up. Because what we can say is that report we saw from Abraham Ben Moshe bring this report out. If he is right, then the government has to be stepped in, because that's not encouraging. The guy was asking for 1 month of the church's gross money to the government to help the SHS free education. Can you imagine? Only 1 month of this church's money can take care of the whole school year of the SHS program. So what about the 11 months money? It's too much. It's too much, believe me. And that's not helpful. It can't go on and go on and go on. I think I'm not going to talk too much. I will end up here. But I hope that the whole nation will take this thing as serious, because it's a threat to the nation. It's a threat to the nation's progressiveness. Because the more these churches keep on becoming powerful, eventually nobody can protect the country. It will become their own terms, you know. So please, let's all watch this announcement and pray on it. And let's hope that our church leaders will listen, the pastors will listen, and the government will pay attention. I will end up here. God bless everybody. This will be from the police. Thanks.